What is up, everybody? Shauna D Man here, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are having yourselves a great weekend so far. We are back here on the channel to talk about Supergirl. So, Supergirl has been not necessarily talk of the town, but it has been a center point of conversations in the online sphere, whether you you liked the movie, you didn't like the movie. It's just it's a movie. I went and saw it last night. And here's the thing when it comes to me doing giving my thoughts or reviews of movies. Like, I have no problem with hearing what people say about the movie or reading what people say about the movie, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna go and watch the movie and judge it for myself. It's not gonna be based off any what people, you know, that person didn't like this, but I might like that. So I'm gonna judge the movie based off my expectations, what I like, what I didn't like. I know right now there's this whole thing with what's his name, Angry Joe. I think that's his name over on Twitter. It's just it's really ridiculous. Because there's this conversation of judging things before it comes out, and I don't really agree with that because that's kind of why, if I know something is going to be bad, why would I wait to go? What's that saying? If I know something is poop, why would I wait to taste it to see if it is poop? If that makes sense. The trailers for Supergirl were okay. There weren't anything. They weren't anything that hyped me up for this movie. They were okay trailers. I think this movie it has its own issues, and I've talked about this several times, in several different videos, and people just seem to think it's all about misogynist people trying to control people's bodies and stuff like that. Stop. If a movie is good, then the movie's good. If a movie is bad, the movie is bad. Stop trying to use all these stupid reasonings to defend a terrible movie. It's like the same thing I saw with Star Wars The Acolyte. The show was bad, but you know what? Instead of people addressing why the show was bad, well, let me rephrase that. People were addressing why it was bad, but it was getting brushed off due to people who liked the show calling those who didn't like the show racist, misogynistic, and all that. It's like, stop doing that. That's really, really annoying. Okay, because you're letting Hollywood off the hook when you do that. Because at the end of the day, Hollywood is the one that made these projects. They're the ones at the end of the day who is responsible for its failure or success. Now, as a consumer, it's my money. If I choose to, if I don't want to see a movie, I won't go see a movie. If I do want to see a movie, I'll go see a movie. But I don't know, this whole Angry Joe junk on Twitter. It's just so stupid. But needless to say, went and saw Supergirl last night. I've talked about it a few times when it comes to its box office potential. I just did a video earlier this week talking about how their estimate for opening weekend was around $42 to $50 million, which would put it in the category of The Flash, Venom, The Last Dance, the Marvels. So we'll see. But this was an okay movie. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was an okay movie, in my opinion. There was definitely some things that I was kind of like, what are we doing here? So you pretty much get the basis of what this movie is about through the trailers. You kind of already can figure out what it's going to be. Kara, she is it's her 23rd birthday, or her birth week, as Clark put it. So she's been going out to planets with red suns so she can get drunk. Meanwhile, Crypto, they encounter girl and the bad guys of the movie who end up um, poisoning Crypto. Now Crypto has 3 days before he dies. We've seen that kind of stick before. Um, oh, you have so many hours or days to get the antidote or whatever before so and so dies or the planet destroyed. Just that same. We've seen this before, and part of this, and what you kind of like can already figure out through the trailers is, oh, this is going to be a situation where Kara, she's going to learn to what it means to be a hero, that kind of thing. Um, I think Millie Alcock I think she's fine. I think she's fine as Kara Zor-El. I don't really have an issue with her. Now, yes, some of her interviews that she's done with the media has not been good, and a lot of that falls under James Gunn, and the people around him for not making sure she was in a better position, because the media, these interviewers, the media, they're just trying to get clicks out of the stuff these people, like out of the actors, actresses say. So they should have done a better job at prepping her for these type of questions and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, she's still responsible for what she said, and some of the talking points she put out weren't very not talking points, but some of the things she said in these interviews generally was not well received by a large percentage of people, both male and female. So let's not do this stupid thing where it's just a guys being misogynistic. Let's stop doing that crap. It's ridiculous. But my issues with this movie is there felt like there were a lot of conveniences to be convenient. So, for example, I'll actually give you several examples. So, but the first one is, so what, I don't even, Ruby, was it Ruby? I don't even remember her name. Let me see. Don't even remember her name. Kind of how forgettable she was. Oh, it is Ruthie. I actually kind of like the way they spell it though. But anyway, um, so Car and Ruthie are trying to find the guys who poisoned Kara's dog, who killed Ruthie's family and everything. They get hijacked by space pirates. So Kara hasn't fully recovered from being on a race. She hasn't absorbed yellow sun energy at this point. So I just thought it was like very convenient that they happened to get attacked by space pirates near a planet that has a yellow sun, just so Ruthie, from her perspective, can see Kara in action and stuff like that. Another one is, um so towards the end of the movie, Kara gets dropped on this because she wants to be taken to the leader so she can get the antidote for her dog and all that stuff. Um, she gets taken to a planet that has it has two. It's a binary star system, so it has two suns. It has a yellow sun, but it also has a green sun, and the green sun emits basically kryptonite radiation. And so, in my mind, I was thinking, why didn't you just find a planet that just only puts out kryptonite radiation? Why did you drop her on a planet that has two star systems or two suns, one that weakens her that could, and kill her, and then the other strengthens her? Like, it was just like, why did you do that? Now again, some of this is loosely based off the Woman of Tomorrow comic, which I don't know if some of you like it or hate it. I don't know. I haven't read it, so but that's beside the point. But it was just it was a weird, it was a thing. The villains kind of just suck in this movie. Like, they're not very good. Like, what is his name? Let me find. What's his name? Krim, I think that's his name, Krim. Like, I don't know what was with this trope of him they did with this movie with him, where every time, not every time, but most times he was on screen. So at the beginning of the movie, when he's on screen, he's eating pie. When they go to steal Kara's ship, he eats a bowl of cereal left by Kara, and then towards the end of the movie, when he visits Ruthie in her cell, there's like a bowl of like maggots or whatever and that she hasn't eaten. He picks it up and starts eating it, and I'm just kind of like, why are you doing that with him? Like he was a lame villain. I did not care about this guy whatsoever. And not only that, their whole shtick is kidnapping girls to sell as bride. Either I don't think they're marrying them, but I think they're maybe selling them off as brides. I don't know what the real purpose of them kidnapping girls are, but that's something that they do. That's something these bad guys do. Is they do that. That's okay. That's weird. Jason Momoa as Lobo. Quite honestly, I think you could have done this movie without him. He wasn't that important. So I just think you could have done without him. Um, you have David Cornsweet back as Superman. Now, I don't know, which I feel like they did. I feel like they reshot some stuff. Because I really feel like David Cornsweet Superman was not in the original movie. I don't know why I feel like that, but I just feel like that's the case. He just was not in the original plan for the movie. I don't know if it was because of backlash, how people reacted to watching Crypto pee on the newspaper Superman. I don't know, but it was interesting. Um, I'm trying to think what else about this movie. Uh, it was just an okay movie. Like it was just okay. Like, I mean, obviously people are gonna be, you know, hyper excited for it. Some people are gonna be lower, not excited for it. I don't know who this movie is for, but I doubt that target audience is gonna show up for this movie. I don't know, like if this movie is for women, they're not gonna show up for this movie. If this movie is for comic book goers in general, you might get some that show up for this movie. I think I don't know, because Superman was also underwhelming as well when that came out last year. Um, and now it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen with the merger with Warner Brothers and Paramount, David Ellison, taking over that kind of stuff. It's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen in that regard. But the movie was just okay. It was just okay. We got some flashbacks of Argo City, which that in itself. So Kara, I forgot her dad's name, but he was the brother of Jor-El. Was it Zor-El? It might have been Zor-El. Um, they both go and they did it to where both Zor-El and Jor-El tried to warn about the destruction of Krypton. Um, we see the capsule with Clark leaving the planet. So Zor-El, basically, I think you see this in the comics doing all that, but Zor-El puts a shield around part of Argo City, and it lifts off into the atmosphere up into space. Now, doing that, it causes. I I don't know if they encountered kryptonite before or not, but they essentially get kryptonite poisoning. Everybody except for Kara and Crypto, but they get kryptonite poison. But they wouldn't know. But wouldn't. It's maybe this maybe just be like a comic thing, maybe like a source material type thing. Um, but so that was we got some flashback to that, and then obviously Clark uh finding Kara outside the fortress and everything. Um, and then yeah, so Millie Alcock is supposed to come. She's supposed to be in the Man of Tomorrow, the sequel for Superman. So it's gonna be interesting to see. That's supposed to come out next year, I think. There's already been like some behind the scene leaks and stuff like that of from the movie, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But overall, Supergirl was okay. I thought it was average. It was a 5 out of 10 for me. If you like the movie, that's great. If you don't like the movie, that's great. That is your opinion. You're allowed to have it. But for me, it was just an okay movie. But guys, that is basically it. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. If you are new to the channel, be sure you hit that like and subscribe button, comment below. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Y'all have a good one.